Last night, Trevor Bauer was the latest Cleveland Indians starting pitcher to put on a clinic. He struck out 11 Detroit Tigers in 6 1/3 innings of work. Bauer is now 4th in the American League in earned run average, and he's moved into a tie for the league lead in strikeouts. When it was all said and done, a tip of the cap to a sold-out crowd here at Progressive Field as the Indians run their win streak to 6 in a row. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians will try to sweep the Tigers and finish this homestand on a really high note. And the big key for the Indians, Rick, if the other team doesn't score, makes it that much tougher for them to beat you. And the Indians pitching staff has just shut everybody down.
When you look at the last 6 games from the Tribe pitchers, I mean, they show you how you get outs. You pitch in front in the count, the 0-2, 1-2 counts that they have had between the White Sox and these Tigers, and they get the strikeouts. They haven't walked many people. They don't give up many hits. As a matter of fact, they don't give up many runs, period. And when you look at it, 6-0, 52 strikeouts in the 40 2/3 innings. They've only given up 3 runs, 9 walks. So, I mean, when you look at this, how can't you win those ball games?
Adam Plutko moves back into the starting rotation here this afternoon. We've seen some really good from Plutko. He's been hurt a little bit by the long ball, but of the 8 home runs, I think all solo shots.
They are, and you know what? 1 out of every 3 hits is a home run. If he can keep the ball in the ballpark, he's been very good. He moves that fastball around, a little cutter, a curveball, and 3-1, not bad in 4 starts. And he was supposed to start Tuesday, but he's pushed up. He's going to start today. So we'll see if he can finish this homestand off on a positive note.
Indians and the Tigers. We'll be back with today's first pitch. Alan Jensen have the showstopper, and we'll check in with Andre Knott straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
for their 7th straight win, as they are now in first place by 7 games in the Central, more than anybody else in baseball. Welcome back, along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Time now for our showstopper. We'll go back to last night, and now the red-hot Los Angeles Dodgers. Matt Kemp with a grand slam against the Mets helped them to an 8-3 win. LA now has won 8 of the last 11.
You got to feel that Matt Kemp, a resurgence unlike anything we've seen in the recent past. He's going to be an all-star if he continues this, and dare we say he's a dark horse MVP candidate?
Goodness, just think, last couple of years, nobody seemed to want him. Yeah. And now, as you said, he's at least a candidate.
I mean, from Atlanta now, goes back to L.A. We know Freddie Freeman, what he's been able to do, but you look at the West standings, and yes, all of a sudden, the Dodgers creeping 2.5 out. Your pick for the World Series, San Francisco, they'll fall short. They're only 5 games back. But you know, again, this Western Division, the way that Colorado was having the lead for a couple of weeks, and then Arizona finally got hot again, it's going to be hotly contested all the way through September.
It's a long season. I like that Giants pitching. It's a little bit underrated.
Hang in there.
Just want to let you know.
Ask Arch what he thinks about the World Cup.
Okay. Matt and Rick have the call of the game today. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks, Al. Jensen, it's a beautiful day here at Progressive Field. Going to be 74 degrees at game time as the Indians try to sweep Detroit and wrap up the homestand. Let's go downstairs right now to Andre Knott, who has our Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
Thank you very much, Matt. Happy Sunday to everyone. We've talked so much about the changes in baseball and how the game could change or not change. So I went to Dan Otero, a veteran of the game, to ask him what he thinks about just some of the changes that we've seen in baseball over the last year and a half.
I think the game's played very well right now. You know, I think it's cyclical. I think 5 years ago was probably a different game, and you've seen pitches per plate appearance go up probably quite a bit percentage-wise over the years. You've seen home runs go through the roof, but I think that's just the way it is right now, and it could very well cycle back to more of a hit-and-run bunting game in the next 5 or 6 years. You don't know, and that's the beauty of baseball, is it can be played so many different ways. So I don't think there should be any new rules, in my opinion, implemented to force the way it's played.
Have you seen how hitters have changed versus Dan Otero?
Yeah, I mean, I think all hitters in general are trying to launch the ball and get the ball out of the park for a quick run. And, you know, for me, as a guy that wants to pitch at the bottom of the zone, I have to be a little bit almost more fine down there because everybody's swings now are almost geared to that. You saw it a couple years ago with Trout coming up in 12 and 13. You know, he was one of the first guys that had that kind of not loopy swing, but really handled the ball down in the zone, so pitchers started attacking him up, and now he's adjusted because he's really good. And so I just had to make that adjustment to some hitters and, you know, try to get down below the zone if I need to.
Do you think it's fair when people talk about maybe they should change the mound or because of all the strikeouts and things like that? Is that fair to pitchers?
I think they should move it closer, make it higher, and increase the strike zone. But I'm not biased at all.
Not biased?
No.
I agree with him. Spoken like a true pitcher.
I agree with him. Move it closer.
Well, you know, it is. I agree with him on one count for sure. It is cyclical. And baseball, like a lot of sports, goes through changes. If you're quick to react to change it, well, then you could really do some irreparable damage to the game long term, I think.
I agree. They're not going to change it. You keep it the way it is. It's been that way for a long, long time, and I think it should remain that way. Well, let's get ready for today's ball game. Adam Plutko going to take the mound for the Cleveland Indians. He is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for today. He is making his 4th start. He's done a nice job this year. He's 3-1 with a 5.04 ERA in his 25 innings. You know, only 8 walks, 18 strikeouts. Now, this is his first start against the Detroit Tigers. He appeared against them one time in relief in 2016, September, back in Comerica Park. But this will be his first start. He was going to start Tuesday in St. Louis, but he's getting the start today. Let's see how he does against the Tigers. They're looking for the sweep.
And the Detroit starting 9 for manager Ron Gardenhire. Leonis Martin leads it off. Jamer Candelario batting second. Nick Castellanos is hitting third. Victor Martinez in the cleanup spot. Nico Goodrum will hit 5th. John Hicks bats 6th. James McCann is hitting 7th. Jose Iglesias is 8th. And Jacoby Jones, riding a 9-game hitting streak, will bat 9th.
The Chrysler defense looks like this. Brantley on left, Davis center, Geyer over and right. On the infield, Ramirez back in there at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second, Alonso at first, and Gomes behind the plate.
James Hoy will call the balls and strikes. Marvin Hudson is at first. The crew chief, Kerwin Danley, at second base, and Quinn Walcott down at third. Ron Gardenhire's troops came in here hoping to maybe make some noise and close the gap on Cleveland. Instead, the Indians have taken the fight to the Tigers. The Tribe has won 6 in a row. They have opened up the biggest lead in baseball at 7 games. And they are a season high 9 games over 500. They have really dominated play at home this year. The Indians are 26-13 here at Progressive Field. And as I just do a quick cursory glance around baseball, they only one team, that's the Yankees. They are the only team with more home wins in all of baseball than the Indians. So we're ready to go as Leonis Martin steps in. And Adam Plutko has the sign. He rocks into the windup. We're underway. The pitch is a bit high. Ball 1. Adam Plutko, an 11th round pick of the Indians 5 years ago out of UCLA.
Yeah, in his last start, it came the 12th of June against the White Sox. Took his first loss. And then he came in out of the bullpen against Minnesota after Carrasco got hit on the elbow and pitched a couple innings.
Smoked up the middle. And Martin has his first hit in the series.
Well, for Adam, he's going to have to locate that fastball today. And there's a fastball out over the plate, and he stayed on it and drills it right back up the middle. So he gets Detroit started off on the right foot this afternoon.
Jamer Candelario looks at a fastball inside. Ball 1. That'll even the count 1-1. And it's outside. Let go. Has gone back and forth a little bit this year between AAA and the big leagues. Got called up and made his major league debut May 3rd against Toronto. And after a start against the White Sox on the 28th, he went back down to AAA. And all he did was throw a no-hitter. Took a perfect game into the ninth. Two-two. Pulls it foul. Candelario out in front of it. He's had a tough series. Candelario is 0 for 8 and has struck out 6 times against Indians pitching.
That's a rough series to this point.
Just missed low and away. Good take, full count.
Can't get that changeup, get him to swing at it yet.
Runner goes, payoff pitch, broken bat, bouncer to first. Alonso goes to second, and they end up with nobody out on the play.
Bad decision right there by Alonso. You've got to get your out and just step on first base, because he was running on the pitch, and he knows, because he's saying going. And after he goes, he thought he had time to get him. No sirree. Mistake there by Alonso. It won't go as an error, but it was a mental error.
That's a baffling one.
It really is, because he's the one that knows that that guy's running on the play. So, you know, you just get your out. He's at second base, no problem. But now Plutko's still looking for that first out.
And Nick Castellanos, the batter. And that's inside, ball one. Castellanos, 1 for his last 15. Out in front of it. The 1-1 down low.
Got that sun peeking in and out of the clouds here today. Looks like it's going to start clearing up. Checking the players out there looking up behind home plate. They can see it.
Seven balls, 7 strikes for Adam Plutko so far. 2 on, nobody out, 2-1 offering. Blooped right field near the line, and a nice play made by Geyer just inside the line for out number 1.
He had a long way to go. He made a nice running catch. I didn't know if that ball was going to be fair or foul, but I didn't think he was going to get there. But he came in, he got on his horse, and it's a fair ball, no question. So the runners can't move up. Nice running catch by Geyer. They get the first out. And now you're looking for your ground ball double play if you can get Martinez to hit it at one of your fielders.
Well, Detroit was sitting at 31-37 when they lost Miguel Cabrera for the season with the ruptured bicep tendon. But it didn't bother him. Ron Gardenhire's Chargers won 5 in a row. But since then, they've lost 4 straight. And many in the Tigers camp are wondering if now they are starting to realize the loss of Cabrera and its impact on the lineup. It requires guys like Castellanos and this guy, Victor Martinez, to shoulder more of the offensive load because there are so many young players in this lineup. And a lot of folks are wondering how much more does Victor Martinez have left in the tank? He's gone 6 for 37 against the Indians this year with 1 run batted in. Hits this one really well. Deep left center. Back is Brantley. Makes the catch just shy of the wall. Martin will tag. He'll make it to third, but there are 2 down in the inning. And Martinez still has the bat in his hand, slowly walking back to the dugout, wondering a few years ago that might have been off the wall and a couple of runs would have been driven in.
You know, it's all about the legs, the bottom half, the foundation. And, you know, you get a little bit older like Victor, and you don't have that drive you once did.
And he's been decimated by injuries when you talk about the lower half.
I know it. I know it. But they get the second out. And to get back to your point about Cabrera, you can't replace a hitter like that in that lineup. He may not be the hitter he once was maybe 3 years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, but I'll tell you what, he's still a very important bat in the middle part of this lineup to make everybody else better.
You figure at worst, Arch, he makes an opposing pitcher have to think and make quality pitches when he comes to the plate.
Yeah, you can't make a mistake. He can hurt you.
Pletko ready, the 0-1. And Goodrum way out in front of it. It's 0-2.
Looks like
he's starting to get a feel for this.
Yes, it looks like the first changeup that he was able to get a swing on right here, and he had a good, well located. Now you got to watch out. They did try to steal a couple times yesterday in an 0-2 count. Maybe with Bauer pitching, they thought it might be a curveball being thrown. Pletko not the same guy, and Candelario only has one, but just to protect him here, we'll see. I don't think so, but they tried it yesterday.
Runner's not going. Ball's hit in the air. Left field. Brantley will make the catch, and Adam Pletko works out of trouble here in the first. The Indians are coming to bat. Against Matt Boyd, 6 for 17 with a home run and a double. And he'll be leading it off the rest of the starting 9 for Terry Francona. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Michael Brantley, then Jose Ramirez, Edwin, Brandon Geyer, Yonder Alonso, Jan Gomes, Jason Kipnis, and Rajay Davis. Matt Boyd, the left-hander, in for a first pitch strike. I guess that's a windup, though. It's a very abbreviated one. Foul back out of play, 0-2. Becoming more and more the norm for starting pitchers.
A lot of movements, the full windup. You're right. The shorter, the better. They stay consistent, I guess, to repeat their delivery.
Lindor smacks it deep left. That's over the head of Jones and off the wall. Lindor heads to second base. He's got a leadoff double. It's his 24th of the year.
Well, he threw a bad pitch here, 0-2. That was a breaking ball that stayed right there down into his zone, and he lined it off the left field wall on our Nissan pitch tracker. And, you know, Lindor just stays hot, man. Continue to swing a good bat. So now the Indians get their leadoff double, see if they can get him over and get him in.
Michael Brantley.
Boyd making his 4th career start in this ballpark, where he has a 1-1 record, but a nice 1.50 ERA. He's always pitched well against the Indians. Been pretty stingy when it comes to giving up runs.
A foul.
Look at Matt Boyd's numbers. He is the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher. You know, he's 4-5, but a 3.63, nice earned run average. 79 in the 3rd innings, 31 walks, giving up 7 home runs. Opposition hitting .211 off him. And in his career, lifetime 1-2 against the Indians and a 1.78 ERA.
Michael Brantley down swinging, 1 away.
And the Tigers defense behind Boyd looks like this. Jones in left field, Martin in center, Castellanos in right. At 3rd it's Candelario, at short it's Iglesias. At 2nd it's Goodrum. Hicks is the first baseman, McCann doing the catching again.
It's only the 25th strikeout for Michael Brantley in his 262nd at bat of the year. Now Jose Ramirez. Ramirez, they walked him 4 times the other day.
I was going to say this will be a good thing to look at here. In the 1st inning, first base is open. They've been very careful to Ramirez. We'll see what they do today. You know, if you're Detroit, you certainly don't want to give the lead to the Indians early. That's been their MO this whole homestand. Score early in the first 2 innings and then let the pitching go dominate.
Not only in this homestand, but against Detroit in particular this year, that's been the Indians' calling card. They've outscored the Tigers 20-4 in the first 2 innings on the season. And Jose Ramirez is a .292 hitter this year with a runner in scoring position, which is where Francisco Lindor is at the moment.
.2-0 changeup, I believe.
Back out of play, and it's 2-2. And Ramirez spoils another one. During the Indians' current 6-game win streak, as a team, they have batted .317 with runners in scoring position. And remember, Arch, they were hot for a while.
Yeah.
Then the bottom fell out. And now they picked it up again.
Comes back up, and that's how your winning streaks come. When you're hitting with runners in scoring position, especially the way the pitching the Indians have been throwing out there, you're going to create win streaks.
Just a bit outside, and a good take by Ramirez to run the count full. Another big crowd here at Progressive Field on this Sunday afternoon. They want to see some early action. We'll see if Boyd challenges Ramirez, or with that base open, he tests his patience here.
He's not going to challenge him. He's going to throw an off-speed pitch, I believe. Oh, he came inside.
Popped him up.
That's a really good pitch right there.
He did challenge him with that fastball, and Ramirez fouls out 2 away.
He went inside with the fastball and he way in off the plate. Jose helped him out right there. That's why he couldn't get the hands extended. That was ball 4 if he takes that pitch, but it was inside. He was looking for a fastball and popped it up.
Well, now a 2-out opportunity for Edwin Encarnacion. 3 for 9 in the series with a home run and 4 runs batted in against the Tigers. Last year through June 23rd, he was at 263. But he's at 17 home runs, 48 driven in. And he hammers this one to left field. That'll get down. That'll go to the wall. And jogging home is Lindor. The Indians take the lead. Throw to second base. Edwin with about the longest slide you'll ever see. He made it to the bag in time for an RBI double with 2 out here in the first.
I'm not so sure his head didn't hit the ground when he went down. His face went right into the dirt. And you're right when you say the longest slide. He realized he was going to have to hurry to get there because Jones out there got it in quickly. Watch the slide. Boom. He goes down. The helmet comes off, but he is safe. And a 2-out base hit will give the Indians a lead. There's the slide. Let's see. Oh.
It's the shoulder right there.
Yeah, he jammed his hands down in there. He never got him out in front.
Goodrum kind of whacked Edwin in the head when he went for the tag. So the Indians have the lead. And Encarnacion stays hot. Now 49 runs driven in on the year. Brandon Geyer. One for 3 in the series with a run batted in. He got the start in last night's game. Back-to-back left-handed starters for Detroit in the series. The 1-1. You see where Mike Sarbaugh is positioned, the Indians' third base coach. He might get a running start and throw a roadblock at Encarnacion if he tries to run through him again.
Well, what happens is he wants to see as late as possible. He wants to get a good look at all the outfielders. That's why he's down to home plate so far. Down there, Encarnacion went around third yesterday. He ended up becoming safe because he knocked the ball out of the glove.
Geyer goes down swinging. The inning is over. But a pair of doubles in the first. This one by Edwin drives home Lindor. 1-0 Cleveland. Adam Plutko goes to work here in the second inning with the Indians on top 1-0. John Hicks, the leadoff hitter for Detroit. I don't know whether or not Plutko figured something out, but Tom Bochenek points out in the first inning, his first 14 pitches, he had thrown 7 balls, 7 strikes. He has now thrown 8 consecutive strikes since.
Maybe slowed it down a little bit. That was a nice curveball he just threw the last pitch before this other slider. He's a good heater.
Wow. Punched him out. First strikeout for Plutko, 1 down here in the inning.
Well, I'll tell you what he did, though. He did a nice job of settling in. After it should have been 1 out and a man on second base. Lonzo made the mistake, but he came back and picked up his defense. There's a nice play by Geyer to get the first out, and then a fly out to left field to Brantley, and it goes that same way. Left field, he gets out of that first inning, and what do? They come back and give him 1 run.
Now James McCann, the Tigers catcher.
Remember in a couple of starts, the one in Chicago, he had trouble throwing strikes early in that game for the first 2 innings. He got out of a bases loaded jam in that one by the pitcher hitting, and then settled in and didn't give up a hit till the 7th inning. So, you know, for some young starters, they get up here and sometimes to get settled in and get through that first inning or the first 2 innings really makes a difference.
Well, Rick, I was going to ask, is it more just these guys being comfortable because they've been around here? I know Shane Bieber said that in his last start. Just being around the team and getting in his routine helped him pitch better once he got on the mound. Could that be the same thing here?
Absolutely. Yeah, they feel comfortable. Yes. They're more into their own game plan, I think, than worried about what people are going to think.
Right, and trying to impress guys. I think once they're here, and I know Adams kind of said this, once he knows that you're here and you belong, you don't worry so much. You just go out and pitch your game and not worry about trying to impress the manager or their teammates.
Absolutely. I mean, because guys are talking to him, I'm sure, in between innings when they're sitting in there. And, yeah, get ready and let's go, boy. Give it your all.
Jose Iglesias. Plus, I would also have to imagine that if you're Adam Plutko and you have the opportunity to sit in that dugout and watch this Tigers lineup, I know everybody's stuff is different as a pitcher, but you see how they react, you know, against Bieber. You see how they react against Bauer, and it gives you maybe an idea. Okay, here's how I can attack them. Here's where I see some holes.
Well, you look at the hitters that way, but if you look how this team has attacked Detroit over the weekend, it's been unbelievable. And we'll get into that the next time they come up.
Lindor retires Iglesias. 10 pitches. All it takes Adam Plutko to retire the side in order.
fee. Promo passes ensure you'll get your item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. Visit Indians.com/promopass for more details.
1-0 Cleveland on top. Home half of the second inning, and Yonder Alonso will lead it off. I thought this was an interesting note today, Arch. Yonder Alonso leads American League first baseman in runs batted in. And here's why it's interesting to me. Not that you don't think he's capable, but we grew up in a generation where first baseman, that was like the cornerstone guy in your team to be
power.
A run producer.
Right.
Yonder doesn't even lead the Indians in runs batted in.
Right.
That's how the game has changed.
It certainly has. You know, you'd look at your cornermen, your first and third baseman is you're right, power, home runs and driving in runs, and then your middle infielders were your guys that you could put up with, but they had to play good defense. It's changed a lot.
Yonder with those 43 runs batted in, that's only one more than Lindor.
Who's your leadoff man?
And who's your leadoff guy? Brantley has 42.
Right, and he's pretty much been your second place hitter.
And Jose Ramirez leading the way with 51. Though Edwin Encarnacion right on his heels with 49. The 1-2. A little bit low.
Well, against the left-handers, you'll see that lineup where Geyer will be out of there and Alonso will move up, and you're looking at double-digit home runs and 40-plus, you know, RBIs by your first 5 hitters.
Yeah. The 2-2. He swung and missed. The ball goes to the backstop, and by the time McCann can corral it, he's still able to throw him out.
He never realized that ball got away. If he would have, you know, as soon as he swung and missed, he would have been able to beat it, but he does not. Go as a third strikeout. Watch, he stopped and he looks back there, and he took a step back, and now he's got to put it on. And I'll tell you, McCann did a nice job picking it up on the run with the mask on, throwing. That was like a long snap to a quarterback, and he missed it, and he had to go pick it up and fire a pass. And he did. It was a strike.
You know what? What we just showed there, and you know, we talk about it so many times, how plays at first base, a lot of times they're bang bang plays. It's a half a step. And if you watch that replay closely, you saw Alonso. It was that step across the plate that he took before he realized it. And that was the difference between being out and safe.
Yes, it was.
Yan Gomes with a line drive single to center field.
Gomes continues to swing it well, going the other way. Yan likes to hit against left-handers. He just gets a fastball out over the plate, doesn't try to do too much with it, and lines it into right center field. Base hit. Third hit for the Indians. First single of the afternoon.
16th hit in the month of June for Yan Gomes. Only Jose Ramirez has more.
Well, Gomes has that batting average up to 253 now.
I beg your pardon. Brantley also has. He's got 19 hits this month. So two guys have more hits than Gomes, but he's not playing every day because you've still got Roberto Perez working.
He's played more this month though.
Sure has.
Yeah. Right now Perez is just catching Bauer.
Now the 1-0 to Jason Kipnis is inside. Kipnis has reached base safely in 34 of the last 37 games that he has played.
I still find this hard to believe that he's hitting lefties better than right-handed hitters. I mean right-handed pitchers. Still under that 200 mark against righties.
The 2-1. Just shaved the outside corner. Now this is a rarity that the Indians see back-to-back left-handed starters, because take this for example, Jason Kipnis has 199 at bats against right-handed pitching, 71 against lefties.
Well, you go back, and when we used to face the White Sox, they used to have 3 left-handed starters in that lineup, and you face the Tigers, they would have a couple, so there's 5. You'd go to Kansas City, they'd usually have one, at least one, if not 2.
Right. The 3-2 pitch. And it's fouled back. Last 6 games, Kipnis is 7 out of 21. And in those 6 games, he has scored 5 runs. He has driven in 5 runs. Matt Boyd from the set. And he walked him.
There you go. Good at bat. Get yourself on base.
Stat of the game today brought to you by Buick. Indians against the Central. Gone 24-13, averaging better than 5 a game. And they're plus 74 in the run differential. And really, I think, Rick, if you take a closer look at that, the Indians' record would be even more impressive if not for the fact that they've stubbed their toe against the Twins. The Twins have beat them 6 out of 9.
Well, somebody in your division's got to put up a fight, and they got to go fight the big boys. The Indians are certainly the favorites, and the Twins, they just seem to rise to the occasion when they face the Indians.
Minnesota's problem has been with the other guys. They've lost 3 in a row heading into play. Twins 7 games under 500, 8 games out of first. Rajai Davis batting 9th, 2 on, 1 out. Out of play right side. And he's in the hole, 0-2. Upstairs. Pretty much straight up. The outfield shades Davis a little bit toward right. And he shoots it that way perfectly. Gomes around third. He'll be waved home. Castellanos throw to the plate, not in time. 2-0 Indians. Rajai Davis with his 6th RBI on the year. And another hit for the Indians with a runner in scoring position.
That's really a nice job, just going the other way. And Mike Sarbaugh was going to test the arm. We said earlier in this series that they're going to test Castellanos. It's an off-speed pitch. He goes the other way. Nice swing. And they're going to stay aggressive. Even though Yan Gomes, the catcher, it's in front of Castellanos, 2 hops. He comes in, and he's not going to get much on it. So Gomes is safe. They first and third him. They play aggressive, and they have a 2-0 lead for Davis, his 6th ribby.
Quickly, this is something that Terry Francona did last night. He was going to lead off Raj in the 7th inning, but he knew he wanted to play him today. He says when you're 37 years old, I try to give him as much time off as possible. Hopefully it'll pay off today. So far, so good from the skipper.
You're not kidding. Here's Lindor. Raj was off, and then he jammed on the brakes.
He doesn't know where it's at right now. Well,
and they're having trouble finding it. Iglesias does at the last moment. Goodrum, I don't think he had any idea where that ball was at.
He lost it in the sun. Does he have glasses on?
I don't see him.
I don't understand how players can go out there with no glasses in the sun. It's out. Look at him.
Well, even Iglesias has them, but they're on the top of his hat.
Look at, he realizes he doesn't have them. Good job. That's unbelievable to me. Come on, the sun's out, boys. You got to wear glasses, don't you?
But even Iglesias.
I just don't understand. I know the clouds are coming in.
He just went and got them, by the way.
Well, yeah, duh. It's 150. Boy, oh boy, if I was a man, I'd go crazy. You got to have them in your back pocket. We used to go out and if you didn't need them, you'd hand them to the umpire and say, "Could you hold these for me?" He'd put them in his back pocket. If you needed them during an inning, you wouldn't have to go in.
I know we're in your tangents on glasses right now, but I want you to know Mike Sarbo wants to send his regards on no, go, yeah. From last night.
He'll see me today on the plane.
Michael Brantley takes it's inside, ball one. This is a kangaroo court situation right here for you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're out there without glasses,
yeah,
you're paying into the kitty.
And there's no, the manager would find it. It wouldn't be a kangaroo court, it'd be the skipper.
Look at
2 down, runners first and third. Indians on top 2-0. Yeah, Raj was leaning, but he gets back in time.
That was close. Looked up at the right shoulder, and he was just got the fingernail in there, I believe. They may challenge. They're waiting to see. Nope.
Michael Brantley struck out his first time up. It doesn't happen very often. Here's Mike Sarbaugh coaching down at third. He's got Jason Kipnis on the bag. Rajay Davis inching off at first.
Yeah, he's got a little better move than a lot of the lefties going over there. You got to be careful and make sure. And I think he's relatively quick to the plate as well.
Rajay's off. Here's the throw, not in time. That's his 16th stolen base on the year.
Well, and he did. He picked the right time. He picked that leg up. He didn't have a slide step. He goes straight up, and there goes Davis with a good jump. Head down, head first. It was really not a bad throw by McCann. It was a nice pick by Iglesias. It was right on the money. That goes to show you the jump got him that stolen base.
So now two can come home on a base hit by Brantley. And he lines it into left field. Kipnis scores. Here comes Raj. He'll score as well. 4-0 Indians.
Yeah, how about that on a 2-0 count? He just loops it in there, and Rajai got a tremendous jump knowing nobody was going to catch that. He knew where the defense was. Brantley, watch this pitch by Brantley. It's off the dish, 2-0. And it's a breaking ball, but he just served it that way. He had to be looking for that pitch. Look at Davis. He's gone. As soon as that ball left the bat, he knew it wasn't going to be hit hard enough. He scores easily. Stolen base pays off. Indians now 4-0.
Jose Ramirez fouled out in the first.
With that stolen base from Rajai, the Indians now 25 out of 26 in the month of June. Stealing bases. It's been tremendous.
There goes Brantley. And this throw's not in time.
They get 26 of 27.
Michael with his 5th stolen base of the year.
Sandy must have something over there on him, because Michael, you know, he's a good base stealer, but he doesn't go a lot. But he knows that he goes on first movement, so there's something they must have in that delivery. Goodrum landed on Michael's head.
And Ramirez socks it in the left. Here comes Brantley. Stop sign.
Yeah, okay. He slows him down, but a clutch hit. The Indians now in this series 6 for 9 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So it finds a hole. Going to get it through, and Brantley was off and running, but Mike Sarbaugh says, hold on, right here, stay put.
Yeah, Jones got to the ball just
watch him charge it.
Brantley gets to third.
No, that's a good call. He wasn't all that deep, and he charged the ball very well. That's what makes third base coaches hold runners. If you get an outfielder that you see him really charging it, he gets the ball before you get the runner gets to the base, they hold him up. They anticipate that you're going to have a good throw.
And that's the thing, Archie.
He's explaining it to him.
It's easy to second guess as a fan or as an announcer. You're looking, you say, oh, look at where the throw went. But he's got to make that decision before the throw.
Absolutely.
And you always expect a good throw as a coach.
Yes, you do. You expect that guy. You anticipate him making a good throw if I send my runner. You know, you might challenge the guy out in right field, Castellanos, because he's an infielder. But here's a left fielder that has a pretty darn good arm. And watch, he charging the ball. He gets there. Now, that's 2 steps before he gets to third base. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's a left field. It's a short throw. And he pulled off. He just tossed it in. He didn't throw it hard.
You're right. Yep.
So, I mean, that's how third base coaches go about it. And that's why sometimes the shallower you play out there, you can cut off runs without even having to make a throw if you can get to the ball before that runner gets to the base.
Edwin Encarnacion looks at a curveball for a strike. Edwin roped one in the left for an RBI double his first time up. He is
starting to pick it up,
finding his stride offensively. 5 runs batted in the series.
You see, he's starting to take it now personally because they're pitching around Ramirez, and he's saying, all right, you want to pitch around him, it's up to me to drive him in or get the job done, and he's starting to do it. 5-game hitting streak. You can see the 8 ribbies.
Yeah, I asked you that the other night if he would start to feel the burn from that.
You sure do. He's got a lot of pride. That's what he's paid to do, is hit homers and drive in runs. He's a DH, so yeah, he's got to do that job.
It's funny, motivation comes in so many different forms. You can give a rah-rah speech and it wouldn't get the same reaction as what they did the other night.
What they're doing to, yeah, that's exactly right.
Runner goes, Ramirez is off. No throw. 3rd stolen base of the inning for the Indians.
Well, they know something. And probably a wise decision by McCann, because he's off and running. It was on a breaking ball. He knew he wasn't going to throw him out. Just pump fake and see if anybody wants to come in from third. They did not.
Edwin's down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. That's up high. 2-2.
Well, again, after the last time up, he threw him a breaking ball. Eddie smoked it to left field. You still have first base open. You've got Geyer on deck.
Artie Lewicki getting loose.
It's been a common theme. Look at 4 runs in the 2nd inning.
30th pitch of the inning for Boyd.
Boy, not much you can do when you're the manager. You look up there and you're seeing 4-0, 4-0, 3-0.
Oh, he bounced it in front of the plate, and McCann did a great job to block it. He may have caught it on his thumb, though, on his bare hand.
Well, those catchers, there it is, a breaking ball, and it bounces back on the forearm.
Ouch.
He's probably leading off the next inning. No, he doesn't have to hit.
He had Edwin down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the string is out. First base is open with Brandon Guyer on deck.
See if they come in with that fastball like they did to Ramirez when he had him 3-2. Nope.
He didn't want any part of it.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. That first at bat pretty much summed it up. That's the second walk now in this inning.
But I mean, really, I'm even a little bit surprised they pitched to him at all. When you got a guy who's got 49 runs batted in now, and he's hot the way he's starting to swing it, and you've got Brandon Guyer on deck who just came off the deal. He's only played a half dozen games since then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just say, let's not even think about this?
Yes, you would, but it's the first inning. You know, do you want to try and get him out? But he showed you didn't do it. You've got to come back and get Guyer now. Guyer could really poke a hole in this one. Bases loaded, and they've already had a number of 2-out base hits, two 2-out base hits in this inning.
Ninth man to bat in the inning for the Indians. And Guyer takes high, 1-1. Guyer hit his first career grand slam off Francisco Liriano in Detroit earlier this year. One and two. This is already the 12th at bat on the homestand with the bases loaded for the Indians.
Wow.
And they're 5 for 11.
They feasted on that situation this year. Yes.
At this point, they're the best in baseball. Bases loaded, a team average of 345. But Guyer goes down swinging, and the inning is over. The Indians extend the lead. Rajay Davis drives home 1. Michael Brantley brings home 2.
purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck here at the ballpark and are only available at Indians.com/kids ticket.
Jacoby Jones leading off for Detroit here in the third. Adam Plutko staked to a 4-0 lead. So on the year now, Rick, the Indians have outscored Detroit in the first 2 innings, 24-4.
Wow, that's not a trend you want to continue if you're a ball club. I mean, it's hard to come back when you. First of all, you're a young team. You don't have all your hitters in there. You're on the road. Playing catch up is really no fun because then all the pressure's on the rest of those pitchers to put zeros on the board.
And you're trying to play catch up against an Indians pitching staff that's
right. That's right now unhittable.
Pretty doggone good. Off the end of the bat, Plutko with a nice play off the mound. 1 away. Our great clip of the game from last night, none other than Trevor Bauer, who dominated the Detroit lineup. And as Andre kidded with Bauer before the game, he may not be welcome in the Motor City the way he's treated the Tigers this year.
Well, Andre was talking about him last night. Andre, and in that interview on the pregame today, he did say you were pretty close to all those pitches, right? The fastball, the changeup, the curveball.
He said we were really close, which was surprising, and I made sure that your names were taken care of.
No, I heard you. Yes, you did, and you were in there too.
I was in there.
We're all included.
We're a team. We stay together.
Absolutely.
But I thought it was interesting, though, that he looked at it and he kind of agreed, other than the changeup. You know, he had 8 strikeouts, or 8 swings and misses from the changeup, though, yesterday. We've talked so much about the slider. The changeup is truly becoming a big pitch for him.
Now, did he say how many he threw to right-handers or left-handers?
He said he didn't give me the number on how many he threw. You want me to tell everybody you're healthy and you feel much better? You want to be a part of this interview as well?
Yeah, I feel good. Booping tomorrow and Wednesday.
That's Carrasco.
See there? Look, Cookie's back. You know, if he wants the mic, he's feeling good.
Okay.
But yes, he said that he used a couple against the righties and lefties. He says he's okay with throwing them against righties, Rick, because he feels like it has enough movement.
Right.
And it's so different from his fastball that it works.
And it's going into the righties.
Right.
If he locates it well, it's down and going in. That's good.
Well, can you give the thought process why we don't see a lot of righties throw changeups to righties most of the time?
Well, they have a tough time getting it down, I think, and they're afraid to leave it up, and it speeds up the bat. If it has the good movement, that circle change. You know who used the staff that used to throw it a lot are the Tigers with Verlander and Scherzer and those guys. They really used to throw the changeups to the right-handed hitters, and you wouldn't see a lot of staffs doing that. I think you just have to be confident enough that you're going to keep the ball down.
Now, Matt, the one thing he did say to me is the cutter has not been used as much this year because of the success he's had with the 2-seamer and the slider now.
Martin strikes out, 2 down. I thought it was also interesting, Andre, where he said that he doesn't throw that many 2-seam fastballs. It's when he throws his fastball, it's primarily the 4-seamer. He'll mix in a couple.
Because the velo's back.
Yeah,
well, that 4-seamer.
Exactly. He's got the velo up, so now he doesn't have to worry about doing that. But, you know, I think that comes from following, and this is my opinion, and he'll tell me if I'm wrong. I think he always wanted to throw that 2-seamer because he saw the success that Kluber had with it. And instead, he's picked up the slider, and I don't think he feels like he needs it nearly as much.
He doesn't.
Andre, the other thing that Rick and I really kind of jumped out at us during the interview, because we just had Dennis Martinez on, and Dennis was saying that he used to read a player's swing, a hitter's swing, off of his pitches, and that would tell him what to do. And it was like Bauer said the exact same thing about Candelario when he faced him last night.
Yes. You know, I would want those two to talk. After listening to El Presidente yesterday and listening to Bauer, Matt, I thought the same thing. And these two guys would be great to talk pitching together.
I'm wondering why more pitchers don't recognize the approach that hitters are trying to take to them. You know, and just hear it and you say, oh, my God, I never thought about that.
Well, the one thing all of our starting pitchers, all of our pitchers talk about is they love that Yan as well as Perez are both really good at picking up on what a hitter's trying to do against them.
Right. Well, that's part of the catcher's job too. But you just can't rely on the catcher. You've got to do it on your own. You're the one that's looking at the approach and the swing that he's putting on you. Like he said to Candelario, he pulled pitches in off the plate. He kept pulling and pulling. Now it's time to go soft and away. And he did. He changed up and he saw him still try to pull a ball.
4 strikeouts later.
Yeah, right. And he hasn't made an adjustment yet.
He hasn't. Well, they were going to sit him today, and basically Gardy said, I'm going to play him because I don't want him to get on that plane worried about 4 strikeouts from Saturday.
And the funny thing is that Plutko jammed him inside. He grounded. He had to field his choice to first base. They didn't get it out, but it broke his bat.
The 2-2.
See, right now he's caught in between. And pitchers can do that to you. That's what people don't understand when you're a hitter. One guy can mess you up for the next day. And Bauer's got a way of doing that.
And Kluber.
Oh, yeah. And
Carrasco. Yeah, right. The 2-2 on its way from Plutko. Tried to get that changeup working, but it was just not tempting enough. Full count. If he can throw a good one, I still think that's the call here. Let's see what he goes with. Fastball, right field. Nice play by Brandon Guyer. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. Here, July 20th through the 22nd in downtown Cleveland. All the money raised supports cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Visit velisano.org for details and join the fight to end cancer. Always a great event, and it's
that's coming up.
Getting bigger and bigger each year. Indians sent 9 men to the plate in the second. Here in the third, it's Yonder Alonso. Alonso struck out in the second inning. Slowed it down. It's 0-2. Going to the National League City. The Indians will be playing in St. Louis the next 3 nights against the Cardinals. So you figure the way Edwin is swinging the bat, he's not going to sit in St. Louis, but all right-handed starters for the Cardinals. The 0-2. Swung out and missed, and Alonso has punched out for the second time today. 5 Ks for Matt Boyd. And with 1 out, Yan Gomes coming to the plate. Gomes lined a single to center field his first time up. Twins and Rangers are underway in Minnesota. Astros Royals underway down in Houston. Garrett Cole going today for Houston. Chris Sale is on the mound for Boston. They're hosting Seattle. Trevor Bauer with his outstanding performance last night, moved in to a tie for the league lead in strikeouts with Chris Sale, and Garrett Cole was only 2 behind. It's going to be one of those categories we'll be watching closely, I'm sure, all season long. But what also is interesting is that Corey Kluber and Trevor Bauer are both now 1 and 2 in innings pitched.
Yeah,
in the American
League.
And they are respectively 2nd and 4th in earned run average. Here's the 0-2. Low and away. Oh, they just told me Chris Sale's already struck out 10 in 5 innings.
Okay, let's keep it 0-0. Seattle, they should score. They can hit.
Low and away, 2-2. Jason Kipnis waits on deck. Home half of the 3rd inning, Cleveland on top 4-0.
Gomes with a hit in his first at bat against Matt Boyd. The left-hander is now 20 for 59, so that's better than 330 clip against left-handers this year.
High pop. Second baseman Goodrum. 2 down. Tampa Bay handing it to New York once again today. They're in the 4th inning, and it's 6-3 Rays over the Yankees. Trying to make it 3 in a row against the Bronx Bombers.
They did it yesterday. They shut them out with a bullpen game.
Jason Kipnis walked and scored in the 2nd. Takes a strike. And it's 0-2. Down low. No, says third base umpire Quinn Walcott on the appeal. So far in the series, Mike Fiers went 5 innings for Detroit and he allowed 4 runs. Francisco Liriano went 4 innings and he allowed 3 runs. Now Boyd has given up 4 runs through 2 2/3 innings of work. I think the key for Boyd will be how long he can go in this game. That 2nd inning had to take some starch out of him. 2-2. Kipnis with a high fly ball, deep center field. Martin back and makes the catch just shy of the wall, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 4-0 Cleveland through 3. talent. Sometimes just nothing beats a good old-fashioned hot.
Get back to the basics.
Nick Castellanos leading off here in the fourth for Detroit. He flied to right field his first time up. That is blistered right up the alley in left center. Castellanos into second base with a leadoff double.
Just the second hit now for the Tigers. He got himself a fastball. Boom, middle of the plate. Elevated it, and Castellanos drilled it into the gap. It's his 23rd double on the year. So there's their leadoff man. They're trying to get on the scoreboard.
Victor Martinez drove one to deep left his first time up, but it was caught by Michael Brantley. Goes after the first pitch, and Jason Kipnis cannot corral it. Geyer's up with it quickly, and the throw all the way home. Tigers at the corners with nobody out.
I think Kip upset with himself. He didn't at least stop the ball. He's going to go to his left and watch. He's going to go for the slide to get up and throw, and just never gets the ball. Gets underneath his glove. See him slap the ground. Just never got there. That gets in there, base hit. So now first and third and nobody out.
Well, Goodrum flied to left in the first inning. And he gets after the first pitch. 3 straight hits to open the inning, and the Tigers are on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game.
In a matter of just about 3 pitches. So they're not going to spot him anything right here, and he's going to have to start locating. Goodrum drops the head on that one. He gets his 8th RBI. 3rd consecutive hit.
Yeah, this all happening in the span of 4 pitches. And now John Hicks.
Oh, baby.
Broken bat rolling to short. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. Alonso had to come off the bag just ever so slightly to corral the throw, but he was able to re-engage to turn 2.
Boy, just what he needed right here. Give me a ground ball. And there it is, the turn. Complete the double play, so that helps as well.
2 down now for James McCann. All right, so I have to ask you, you think this is something that they're talking about in the dugout? Be aggressive to look first pitch, because they've all been
second time around. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, don't worry if he's going to start you with that fastball. Get after it. He's trying to get ahead with it and then go to work. Absolutely. And that guy on deck's watching as well. When he gets up there, he doesn't have to talk to anybody. If you don't start him off with an off-speed pitch, and that's what Gomes is going to start doing.
And now he's able to throw the fastball by him. It's 1-1. Base hit up the middle. So James McCann got a hanging slider, and the Tigers have cashed in for 2 here in the 4th inning.
Going to get a breaking ball upstairs. Yeah, not a good pitch. Right there, it hung, and it allowed McCann to drive it into center field. So a 2-out base hit for the Tigers, and they cut the lead in half.
That's just the second hit for James McCann in his last 18 at bats. But it's well timed as the Tigers cut the Indians' lead in half. And now Jose Iglesias taking the strike.
4 hits in the inning. Big double play ball, though. He was able to get hits to hit into.
It's the first time in 30 innings now that the Indians have given up more than just 1 run in any single inning. Then again, they just haven't given up many runs, period, lately. Rajai Davis got a good jump on it. Makes the catch. Getting over. Middle of the 4th, 4-2 Cleveland.
Hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
(4-2) Cleveland on top, bottom of the 4th. Rajai Davis will lead it off for the Indians.
In the bottom of the 4th inning, leading off with a try will be the center fielder, Rajai Davis.
Matthew Boyd retired the Indians in order in the 3rd.
Well, he put a 0 on the board, and the offense finally got something for him now. He's going to have to do it one more time, and we'll see if the Indians now, after Davis hits, they go back to the 3rd time through the lineup. Take that momentum away from him.
Outside with it, 1-1. To 3rd. Backhanded, but dropped by Candelario, and once you do that, you got no chance against the speedy Davis.
Yeah, you've got to field that cleanly, but that ball did take a bounce up on him now on the backhanded side. He watched the second hop, hit that grass and jumped up, but something I still think he should have caught. Yeah, but you're right. Once that ball pops out of your glove, you have no chance with Rajai. They give him a hit.
So Rajai is aboard. He has a stolen base already today, and they seem to have a good read on Boyd because they swiped 3 bases against him in the 2nd inning alone. He goes goes to the slide step here.
Yeah.
And it's in for a strike. Kia drive to success in the American League. The extra base hit leaders. Eduardo Escobar at the top, then Jose Ramirez and Frankie right behind him.
Yes, indeed. He's right there.
Whoa, what was that? He dropped down and buggy whipped it over there and almost threw it away.
Give him a different look. You know, that slide step, that's what he's going to have to remain doing with the guys that can run a little bit. He steps off the rubber and just flips one over there. But it wasn't very accurate. Another slide step. See, that's what he's going to have to do when you get speed on base. Just stay with the slide step.
Well, after the track meet in the second inning,
I know.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Davis had one. Brantley had one. Ramirez had one. But being as good as Rajai is, if he picks that leg up, he's good enough to go on it. And it's a tough call.
Up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, sometimes pitchers don't really like to continue that slide step. They like to pick that leg up and lets their arm catch up and they can throw strikes. But what you're doing here, sometimes you got to make sure you get ahead of the hitters.
Is there any one thing as a base stealer that you focus on when you're looking at the pitcher? Is there one thing, or is there multiple things you're trying to look at the same time?
You'll pick up one eventually, especially off a left-hander. It might be his hands. It may be his front foot. It could be his shoulder. He might lean a little bit. It could be a number of different things. But when he doesn't pick that leg up, he's delivering it quickly. You don't want to run on a pitch like that. You let your hitter go ahead and get you to third base. If he picks it up, it's different.
And another foul back by Lindor. Well, this was in the second inning, and watch the high leg kick from Boyd. That enabled Rajai to steal.
Yeah. Brantley was down there. And Ramirez had a great job. Anytime he picked that leg up, boy.
Action again in the Detroit bullpen. 78th pitch of the day for Boyd. He flips it to first instead. Artie Lewicki once again getting loose. Probably figure going through the lineup now, third time around, Ron Gardenhire, after they've gotten on the board, he doesn't want to let this just get away from him.
No, you do not. You got yourself right back into it. They really would love to put a 0 on the board.
Rajai got a good jump that time, but Lindor with 2 strikes protecting fouled it back.
Well, that time he stayed with the slide step, but Davis took off anyway. You see, he had a good jump for not picking up his leg, but he had to make sure. So re-rack it. Let's try it again.
See if that'll draw a throw maybe this time. Some things you can just almost see him coming, right?
Yeah. Especially Raj. He's too good. He's too good of a thief.
Not running. Lindor with a high fly ball. Deep right field. Castellanos back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Lindor with his 3rd home run of the series. Give him 19 on the year. Now 44 runs batted in. And it's a 6-2 Indians lead.
Well, there's your 2 runs right back with 1 swing of the bat. Boy, you talk about driving the ball to right center field. Great extension on this pitch and on his swing. Just watch. Fastball up and out over the plate. That's another high fastball he was able to get on. You remember the pitch from the other side yesterday that he got on top of. This is a high fastball, but he stayed and took it the other way. And that's going to do it for Matt Boyd.
And it might have been the presence of Rajay Davis at first that took away just enough concentration to enable Lindor to get to that pitch from Boyd. That'll hasten his exit. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Artie Lewicki, and we'll be right back. On top of a high pitch and lined it out of here.
Yeah, you see with that top hand from the left side, and he pulled that ball. And I'll tell you, very difficult to do. But today, from the other side of the plate, it's a fastball up and out over the plate that he stayed on to go the other way. You can get on top of the high fastball like that. That just generates that. That's going to guarantee the ball gets in the air. It's easier to hit the ball in the air when it's elevated. And those 2 pitches were, but it's not as easy as it looked to hit that ball out of the ballpark. He pulled one, he went the other way with another, but 3 consecutive games for Francisco with the home runs. He now sits at 19. He has 44 ribbies, and he just continues. 2 more extra base hits today. Another multi-hit game. This kid does not stop.
No. There is no stopping him. Michael Brantley, he drove in 2 runs with a base hit in the 2nd inning. Takes a strike. Artie Lewicki making his ninth appearance of the year. And Brantley with a softly served single into center field. And the Indians have a man on for Jose Ramirez.
Brantley's 24th multi-hit game.
It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. He had a base hit his last time up. Ramirez has now reached base in 31 consecutive games.
Brantley drawing a throw from Lewicki. But as Rick pointed out earlier, when Brantley stole second base in the second inning, Brantley he can steal a base, and he'll definitely take a base if you fall asleep on him. But he's not like Rajay Davis, where he's out there itching to go, or even Ramirez. When Jose Ramirez is on first base, he can hardly contain him. They can't wait to go.
But yeah, Michael's one of those guys where if you fall asleep on him, he can go. You pick your times, you know, they're not concentrating on you, and you can sneak some in and you can get yourself 15.
Ramirez wraps it into right field, and Brantley will stop at second base. And the Indians with 4 straight hits to open the inning.
Tell you what, the hitting shoes are on today. That's hit number 10. We're in the 4th inning. Ramirez got a fastball in that he turned on. And that's one reason why they don't want to pitch to him, but you do. He's going to get his share of hits.
Speaking of pitching to and not pitching to, let's go down to Andre.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that Jose didn't hit a home run after Frankie's hit a couple over the weekend, and he hasn't been able to pop one out so recently. But I talked to Edwin yesterday about seeing Jose get walked and what it means to him. And he smiled, guys. He says, I love it. He goes, that used to happen with he and Jose Bautista in Toronto. That means he knows pitchers have to come to him. And the other thing he told me last night, Arch, that goes right along with what you said. He does expand his strike zone when guys are, when he knows he can drive guys in. He says, I get more aggressive because I'm here to drive runs in. He goes, so when I get a chance, I'm going to swing at things that I wouldn't swing at if their bases are empty. But he loves Jose getting walked because he knows what that means to him and everyone else in the line.
Yeah, come to Papa. You know, he had that base hit in the 1st inning yesterday. We went down and expanded the strike zone.
Big chopper to third. Candelario goes to second for one, and it's on to first. A double play. Brantley goes to third. Well, that's a big turn for Detroit. Otherwise, this game could have gotten out of hand in a hurry. Bonnie Chisenhall will get his first at bat of the game. Lonnie bats for Brandon Guyer, who struck out twice against the left-hander Matthew Boyd. Lonnie 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. It's crazy because you think about, boy, you know, when you miss time, it's going to take you a while to get back. Lonnie's having a month of June. He's hitting .341 since he came off the DL. 15 games, he has 15 hits. Hard hit ground ball to first. Hicks has it. Takes it himself. Inning over. Francisco Lindor's 3rd home run of the series restores the Indians' 4-run lead through 4 innings here in Cleveland. Sorrento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Napoleon Lajoie in the background there, over there by the Throw and Smoke barbecue stand. Beautiful day here in Progressive Field. The Indians are on top 6-2 as we move along to the 5th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall now in right field. Down low. Adam Plutko, 40 out of 60 pitches have been strikes. Bounced one in, 2-2. Got him looking at a fastball. Third strikeout for Plutko. One down here in the 5th. And it's time for a game break with Al Pulaski.
Matt, Rick, speaking of strikeouts, exactly what Chris Sale's doing today at Fenway Park against the Mariners. He has 10 strikeouts now through 6. He had 10 through 5. His career high is 15. He did that on May 18th to tie his own personal record against the Blue Jays. He's sailing along, shall we say. 5-0 Red Sox, bottom of the 6th inning, Fenway Park.
I see what you did there. Center field. And Leonis Martin is out number 2.
And now stepping in for the Thunder, number 46, Jeimer Candelario.
Jeimer Candelario comes up with 2 down and the bases empty. He's 0 for 2. Wow, beautiful pitch. And it's 1-1. Straight up on the infield, Ramirez at third base.
Another easy inning.
On 10 pitches for the second time today, the Tigers are retired in order.
Yonder has struck out twice today. And he looks at ball one down low from Artie Lewicki. Gave up 2 hits to the first 2 hitters that he faced, and then 2 ground ball outs to get out of the inning in the 4th. Struck pretty well, deep left center. Jones on the warning track reaches out and makes the catch. 1 down. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. In the first with 2 outs, Edwin puts the Indians on the board with an RBI double. Then in the 2nd inning, Michael Brantley drove in a pair, also with 2 outs. It was 4-0. Then it was 4-2 when Francisco Lindor hit his 19th home run of the season to put the Indians back up by 4. And that's where we stand now here in the 5th inning, 6-2 Cleveland. And Yan Gomes the batter, 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 2nd.
Well, after this game, the Indians are going to embark on a 9-game, 10-day road trip and see if they can play a little bit better on the road now. They are still just 16-20 overall when it comes to road games. And now they're looking to go 27-13 at home, so they're dominating here at their home ballpark. They got to pack that offense with them.
Detroit will head home after this. They will face Oakland tomorrow night. And a treat for the A's, or a treat for the Tigers, awaits them. Oakland is going to call up Edwin Jackson to make the start.
How many teams has he played with?
That will be a major league record tying 13th different major league team that he has pitched for.
No kidding. 13.
The Dodgers is where it began, then Tampa Bay, then Detroit. He pitched for the Tigers, Arizona, the White Sox, the Cardinals, Washington, the Cubs, the Braves, the Marlins, the Padres, the Orioles.
Wow.
Now the Oakland A's.
13 different teams. That's incredible.
He matches the record held by former reliever Octavio Dotel. And I didn't realize that Dotel bounced around that much.
Oh yeah. Well, again, when you pitch on with that many teams, you're going to hit the same team a couple of times. You know, when you go through. Dotel pitched for the Tigers as well, I remember.
There's a line drive, base hit to center field. Yeah, the only 2 teams I remember him pitching for were the Astros and the Tigers, but obviously there were 11 other ones somewhere along the way. Well, Jason Kipnis is aboard with 2 down here in the 5th inning. And we're going to get a pinch hitter now for Rajay Davis as Tyler Naquin makes his way to the plate. And good day for Raj. He was 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, a stolen base, and a run batted in.
Very good afternoon. Nice, nice 5 innings of work, Rajay. Yeah, he'll put his collect all his gear. He'll be done, and I'm sure you'll see Naquin and Chisenhall, as you said, all in St. Louis, all right-handers.
Yeah,
but remember now the pitcher has to hit for the Indians, so you got to be ready on the bench. Getting back to interleague play. Indians 6-2 so far in interleague play. 3-1 against Milwaukee, 3-1 against the Cubs.
Arch, the real question is, what do you do at first base with no DH? when Edwin's swinging the bat pretty well.
Well,
you
may give him you may give him a game at first.
I think he plays 2. I'm going out on a limb.
All right.
The Indians go out here in the 5th, but they lead it 6-2. Indians up, 6th inning. Adam Plutko, as you see Tyler Naquin taking over at center field, goes to work on Nick Castellanos. Castellanos doubled the lead off the 4th inning and scored the first of Detroit's 2 runs. Astros out in front of Kansas City 4-0. They're in the 2nd inning. Minnesota and Texas scoreless. They're in the 4th.
That's Colon against Barrios.
Right field near the line. Lonnie Chisenhall in the foul ground. No, the ball carries into the seats. A little bit of a breeze blowing from the left field corner over towards right now. I think the wind just kind of pushed that right out of play. Lonnie had a beat on it, but just at the last moment ended up over there in the seats.
Yeah, that fastball, he ran inside on it where he fouled it off the pitch before.
How about the young man brings the glove, makes the play of the day right there. Well done.
He had visions of doing that before he got here today.
That's
you
right.
Just need a ball in your direction. Good job, young man.
Two. Low, full count. Nice piece of hitting.
Yes, sir. He gets it away and he just kept his hands back. His second straight hit. Leading off an inning, did it in the fourth, here again in the sixth. Watch him go down and get this ball. That ball, that's an excellent pitch by Plutko. Better job of hitting right there by Castellanos. Hit number 6 for the Tigers.
Castellanos, who was just 1 for his last 16, now hits in back-to-back trips to the plate. Here's Victor Martinez, singled and scored in the fourth. He got after the first pitch and roped it into right field. Dan Otero has just now grabbed a baseball. One ball, 2 strikes. Three on the right side of the infield for the Indians. They're trying to squeeze the hitting lanes for Victor while still looking for a double play. Ramon Santiago's still showing the quick feet down there at the first base coaching box.
Yeah, he thought he was going to field it and decided, I don't think so. Remember the last time we were in Detroit, he was off, I think, paternity leave for his wife. They had Alan Trammell coaching first base, the Hall of Famer, getting inducted next month into the Hall of Fame. But he's back.
Just flips it to left, and Michael Brantley able to run in and secure the catch, 1 down. Then we got Nico Goodrum. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single back in the 4th inning. You mentioned something a little while ago in that foul ball down into the seats, that kid that made the nice catch. And you said something to the effect that, you know, he's been visualizing that. Did you ever get into the visualization thing where sports psychology is concerned? All that? How would you use it? Just like a picture in a bat picture?
Yeah, I mean, you could go through the next day game in your head, you know, knowing the pitcher who's pitching without the video before they had that and everything. Yeah, you did it on your own. Absolutely. Certain plays, you just go through it. It may not happen. It may happen. You never know.
It's just for an athlete, though, it's another way of just trying to prepare yourself, right?
Just mellowing out. Just, yes. Sitting down, going through at bats, different situations in your head. You know, you got a pretty good feel for who's pitching for you, who's pitching against you. Yeah, you have to sit down. You can take a little nap, close your eyes, and go through it. It doesn't take long.
And when you face, you know, in your day there were fewer teams, and you facing the same pitchers a lot of the time, you had a pretty good idea how he was going to attack you.
Yeah, there's 2 divisions. There weren't, you know, the 3 divisions. You're only playing.
Kipnis with a nice play, goes to second. There's one. Lindor's return throw, not quite in time. Goodrum beats it out, so the inning stays alive for Detroit. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, that play is a good instrument to talk about what Terry Francona talked about this morning and talk about Jason Kipnis' defensively. He feels like going right. Kip needs to work on it more. He feels like going left. He's been okay this year, right? He's been a little bit better, but he says at the age Kip is at, and as you age and we all get a little bigger, he needs to work on it more. He needs to come out earlier, and he felt like the play yesterday was a great example of where Kip needs to do a little bit more work because he's not a natural infielder. He was an outfielder in college, and he just feels with age starting to show up where he may need to work a little bit more. It's not saying that he doesn't, but he wants him out there more, trying to pay attention to what he's doing.
Well, you're right, and once you hit that 30 mark, and hey, look, people, it's just normal. It happens to everybody. You hit 30, that's an age where your body changes. I don't care what anybody says. You go through it, you've been there. Whether you're an athlete or not, you're not going to be as quick as you were in your 20s. You have to work that much harder. You have to stay in shape. You got to play smarter.
Now, I haven't talked to Kip about this, but why do you think going to his right he'd be better this year than going to his left than maybe in years past? Is that maybe something he worked on and it's become that way or not?
I really have no idea. Sometimes you just have a favorite side, your backhand side, if you're going away. But the thing, if he's better going to his right, he's going to have to make a longer throw and a stronger throw, and that's one part of his game that he has to work on is his arm. So going to usually a lot of players are better going to their glove side.
Right. But it's something they're aware of, and they're working with him day in and day out.
And we've seen the work. We've watched him out here
every day
with Mike Sarbaugh taking ground balls, doing different drills, not just your routine sort of infield drills, but Alonso drifting, can't make the play off the glove. And that'll be an error on Alonso.
Yeah, he got over there. He had time. It just went off the end of the glove. He's had a rough day today defensively at first. He gets there. There's plenty of time, plenty of room, and just off the end of the glove. No play? Wow.
So no error for Alonso.
He's been in a good mood this week.
The score?
Yeah.
Charitable?
That very charitable. That's an error. Well, maybe it's because he had to look into the sun. I don't know. That's an error. By my standards.
And I'm sure by Yonder's as well.
Absolutely. He'll be the first to tell you.
2-2. Swung out and missed. Pletko picks him up. Inning over. Middle of the sixth. 6-2 Cleveland. Indians Live begins our coverage at 7:30. First pitch just after 8. Swing into summer on Sports Time Ohio and Fox Sports Go, presented by Click It or Ticket. A beautiful summer day here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. The Indians with a run in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the fourth. And they lead it 6-2 now. As Francisco Lindor leads off the home half of the 6th. He doubled and scored in the first. He hit a 2-run homer in the fourth. 19 home runs now on the year for Lindor. Tap to third. Candelario throws him out. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. They lose 3 pitchers. Aaron Sanchez, Garcia, Barnes. Michael Brantley, a couple of hits, a couple of runs batted in on the day, and he takes up high, ball 1. Wow. Houston really putting it on Kansas City. 8-0 Astros, 3rd inning.
Well, they came back and tied it up in the 9th, 1 in the 12th, and that just pushed them over the top today after they got beat 1-0 in the first game of that series. Didn't you say Cole was pitching today for them?
Yes.
Oh, hum, walk in the park for him.
Yuli Gurriel with a grand slam in that game for Houston. Twins Rangers still scoreless. They're in the 4th in Minnesota. Bartolo Colon pitching for the Rangers. Yankees have come back to close to within a run of Tampa. 6-5 Rays in the 5th down in St. Pete.
Long way to go in that one.
Yeah. Chris Sale, by the way, cruising. They're in the 8th at Fenway. And the Red Sox are up 5-0. Brantley with a fly ball to left. Jacoby Jones, 2 down.
To the plate now for the Indians, number 11, Jose Ramirez.
Artie Lewicki looks into James McCann for the sign, and the 0-1 to Ramirez is rocked to deep right field. Gone to Souvenir City. Jose Ramirez with his 23rd of the year. He is now moved into a tie for the league lead in homers.
Well, he got sick of watching Frankie hit him over the weekend, and now he had to have one of his own. Look at him grab that bat. He says, give me it. I got to take it to the end of the dugout. Look at that. Nice swing on the ball. That ball jumped out of here. His 3rd hit of the day, his first ribby, but his 23rd homer. He said, I told you I'd get one.
J.D. Martinez and Mike Trout, along with Jose Ramirez, all with 23 home runs now on the season.
Watch the ball jump off the bat at 104.5 miles an hour. You pull it, it's deep, it's a souvenir, and they're looking for it.
There you go. There's the top three.
How about that? Look at Victor over right next to him. Hey, you know you're going to go over review the assistant hitting coach and talk to him after he does that.
Encarnacion down swinging, but everybody's smiling in that Indians dugout. It's 7-2 Cleveland. Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Whooping it up, having some fun while the folks in the Old English D aren't exactly having a great time. The Indians on the verge of finishing off a sweep. If the bullpen can take it home from here. Dan Otero will relieve Adam Pletko. Pletko went 6. He gave up 2 runs on 6 hits. Did not walk a batter.
I know.
Struck out 4.
Kept the ball in the ballpark. Had that one hiccup in the 4th inning where they dropped 4 hits on him, 3 consecutive. But he did get the double play ball, minimize the damage. So a good start for Adam.
Otero making his 27th appearance of the year. He's got the bottom third of the order. Oliver Perez up in the Indians bullpen. Grounded foul, third base side.
Send out some birthday wishes to Dan Oprezza of Champion, turning 90 today. Dan, happy birthday. And Harvey Boardman of Lyndhurst, turning 80. Very happy birthday to you. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. No humidity whatsoever. Time for the lollipops.
And McCann is out looking. Otero gets the strikeout, 1 down as we take a look at Adam Pletko's day.
Well, there he was. He mixed in that curveball nicely. The changeup he got a feel for after that first inning. Moved his fastball around, kept it out of the middle of the plate. He struck out 4. He didn't walk a batter. He gave up 6 hits and just the 2 runs. So a very nice start. That's his first start against the Tigers. And I told you earlier, in 2016 in September, he pitched against him, but he has a chance to get his 4th win.
Iglesias fouling it back. The Tigers shortstop 0 for 2 today. Brought a 6-game hitting streak into this affair. Ground ball right back to Otero, 2 down. I enjoyed Dan's comments with Andre before the game. We sometimes overreact to what's going on in baseball and say, well, let's lower the mound, let's do this, do that, instead of just maybe let it ride itself out and see what happens. Otero with a 1-2-3 7th inning on 8 pitches. Stretch time in Cleveland. 6-2 or 7-2 try. They're up 7-2, and as we go to the bottom of the 7th, we first go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Thank you very much. Well, we had Father's Day last week. We had all the guys talking about how great it was to be a father and how you try to stay connected any way you possibly can. On Friday night, you saw Yonder Alonso with a big grand slam, and our guys did a great job with video. We showed all the angles. We showed it from center field, from home plate. We saw all of this here. Even our guy Steve Ball had a shot down on the field. But check out the visions that we had from the Alonso household as he was sending the kids telling them I love them. Check this out.
Troy, think on.
He's waiting for the kiss here. Matty, you do a great job with your home run call, but I tell you what, when little Alonzo gets a little older, you better watch your back. Just a great moment from Friday night.
He's got me beat already. You kidding me?
And he got the kiss blown to him. I don't know if we can get that for you.
Yeah, that was pure emotion and really cool. Lonnie Chisenhall will lead off here in the bottom of the 7th with Alonzo on deck. And Lonnie on one pitch lines a single right up the middle. 16 games, 16 hits since he's come off the DL. And here is Yonder Alonso.
It's 13 hits for the Indians today. They're going out in style here, trying to close out this homestand in very fine fashion. 7 straight wins.
Well, they've done it in front of 3 big crowds this weekend. Sellout on Friday night. I'm sorry, a sellout last night. They had over 30,000 on Friday night.
Nice crowd here today.
I would say we're over 30 again. We're close to it.
Certainly
Right?
looks like it.
Sky high pop. Candelario. 1 down. And that's going to send Yan Gomes to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike. Did you get up early this morning and watch the World Cup game at 7 a.m. on Fox?
I did not.
England, Panama.
Got it.
Double play ends the inning. Talk more about World Cup soccer after this commercial timeout.
7th consecutive win. High again, along with Jensen Lewis. Al Pulowski today. Another good pitching performance from the starter, Adam Pletko, and the offense just keeps rolling.
It's been the recipe the entire homestand. Get an early lead for the starters, let them settle in. And how about Jose Ramirez? Yet again, really starting to get in that MVP conversation.
And Lindor did something for the first time today as well.
He did. We'll tell you about that.
It's coming up on Indians Live after the game. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. New pitcher in for the Tribe. Let's hear more about Perez as we head upstairs. Matt and Rick, take it away.
All right, thank you, boys. Oliver Perez coming on for the Indians, third pitcher of the afternoon. Dan Otero working a perfect 7th inning with 1 strikeout. For Oliver Perez, he's got the top of the order. It'll be Leonis Martin, Jeimer Candelario, and Nick Castellanos. 10th appearance on the year for Perez. Martin 1 for 3. So, by the way, the game at 7 a.m. earlier today, England, Panama. It was not supposed to be much of a match. England was supposed to dominate. They won 6-1. It's the largest margin of victory for England in World Cup history.
6-1.
I don't know that much about soccer, World Cup class soccer, but I'm guessing 6 goals would be like scoring 20 runs in baseball.
Well, sure. How many times you see 1-0, 2-1? That's it. Well, let's have Bo do the research on it.
Fly ball to center field. Martin is out, number 1. Well, World Cup continues tomorrow on Fox and FS1 with a full schedule. It gets underway at 9 a.m. Eastern. And you can watch it all on Fox and FS1, or you can stream it all live on the Fox Sports app.
I'll bet we don't see 6 goals in a game there tomorrow.
You might not see 6 goals combined in some of those games, in most of those games. I don't know. I don't know where they're at as far as the groupings. Are they about ready to advance from the group and move on to the next round? We got to be close. Popped him up. Right fielder Lonnie Chisenhall makes the catch. 2 down. So we got a timeout. Tito is going to go get Oliver Perez. He faces 2 batters. He retires them both. And we'll be right back with the Indians up 7-2. Neil Ramirez is the new Indians pitcher, 17th appearance on the year. With 2 down in the inning, he'll be facing Nick Castellanos. Strike to the outside corner.
Well, this is the point where when you have the lead, you go to that bullpen after Plutko went 6. You get Otero had a 1-2-3 inning. Then you get Perez to come in. He faces 2. You get 2 outs. Move it quickly.
2 quick strikes on Castellanos. Swung on and missed. It took him 3 pitches to dispose of the Tigers' number 3 hitter. Middle of the 8th, 7-2 Cleveland. The Indians have struck out a boatload of Tigers in this series. Adam Plutko fanned 4 more here this afternoon. And Francisco Liriano, or Francisco Lindor, I should say, is swinging a hot bat. Continues to do so against the Tigers. He has 14 hits against Detroit pitching this year. 4 home runs, 3 of them coming in this series. Pulled it foul.
Lewicki's still in there doing a nice job.
Jason Kipnis crushes it to the bullpen in center field.
Oh.
That's his 7th home run of the season. His 2nd hit of the afternoon. And it's 8-2 Indians.
Third homer of the day for the Indians. Kip gets his 7th. Put a nice swing on that ball. Well, it's a fastball right down Broadway. Don't know if he's getting a little tired or not, but that pitch down the middle, Kip took advantage of it, ropes it into right center field. 8 runs, 14 hits for the Indians this afternoon.
Popped up, foul, and out of play. Take another look. Watch Jason Kipnis's eyes focus in on the pitch.
Everything flowing beautifully right there. 103 miles per hour. Smoked it.
Well, these guys are finally, they're loose, they're having fun. Obviously, it helps when you're winning, but it's been a team that just, a lot of stopping and starting throughout the first couple of months of this season.
Well, this is where I'd love to see him carry it on the road with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to win every game by any means, but
win series.
Yes, yes. You're out there trying to win the series. Absolutely right.
Play of the game brought to you by Pastime Chevrolet. Frankie started it with a double in the first off the wall. And then in the fourth, after the Tigers had answered with a couple of runs to close it to 4-2, kaboom. 19th home run of the year, restored the 4-run lead, and it's never been in doubt since.
Another multi-hit game for Lindor, 31 on the year. 2 more extra base hits.
Off the glove and leg of Lewicki, he recovers, tries to throw, but no chance.
That hurt.
That's going to leave a mark for sure. Tigers don't have anyone up in the bullpen, so Lewicki cannot continue.
I'll tell you what, I give the kid credit, man. That ball, you could tell it hurt because he went to limp and he saw that ball near him and he jumped on it and at least attempted to make a play here. It goes off his right foot or his right ankle. And look at him hobble, but he sees it, and he still made an attempt, makes the throw, and made it close. Check it out in real speed. Ouch. Look, off the heel, maybe. That's a stinger.
I think he's all right.
Well, he's trying to talk his way in. Gardenhire saying, all right, go throw a couple of pitches, let me see. When he came in here in the 4th inning. He says he's fine.
Yeah. Gardner's not convinced.
Well, he's gonna talk to him. He wants to read his eyes, man. He wants him to look in the eyes and say, "I'm okay." You know, the kid's gonna go out there and do whatever he can to stay into the game, no doubt, and convinced him, so he will remain in the game.
Now batting for the Tribe, left fielder, Michael.
All right, 1 on, 1 out. Michael Brantley coming to the plate. I'll tell you one thing, Arch. Sometimes, as we know all too well, in the bullpen, somebody's going to have to wear it once in a while. And Artie Lewicki did just that. He 37 pitches, or 37 strikes out of his 50 pitches. He's gone 3-4+ innings of relief here. behind the left, and that's going to be extra bags for Brantley. Lindor racing to third, and he'll be held right there. So Michael Brantley with a double. He's got a 3-hit afternoon.
You know, this is the first time he's had to wear it against the Indians. May 16th, he threw 4 innings, a shutout, 3-hit baseball against the Indians. But, you know, he's probably tired. And now he's getting the ball up a little bit. Now they're starting to take advantage of it. 3 hits in the inning.
Warwick Saupold is now getting loose for Detroit.
They're going to walk Ramirez again.
That's the 5th walk for Ramirez in this series.
Well, I know that their walk of Jose Ramirez is going on, but if you can get a shot at Francisco Lindor, I would not want the job of Mike Sarbaugh. One, you've got Rick Manning yelling no, no, no on Saturday. Today, Lindor wants to lead the league in scoring. He wanted to score on that play, and Sarby stopped him. Yeah. And he's talking to him about it. He said, I could have made it. And I think Sarby's just saying, in this situation, let's be patient. Let the game kind of come to us.
Well, be patient, but let's be smart, too. You know, you don't want to have a play at home plate or anything happening in an 8-2 ball game.
But that tells you about Lindor, though. He's always aggressive coming around third base. Wants to lead the league in runs scored because he says that means I'm doing my job as a leadoff hitter.
Well, they're loaded up now for Edwin.
Maybe he'll be able to walk home here. We'll see.
Encarnacion doubled in a run in the first. Sixteen hits now on the day for Cleveland. Right field. Castellanos back at the wall. It's a grand slam. A 5-run 8th for the Cleveland to remove all doubt. Edwin Encarnacion. The Indians pummeling the Tigers. Once again, it's their 2nd grand slam in the series.
Well, there you go. I mean, you're going to continue to walk them. And the big man made you pay right there going the opposite field. Encarnacion, it's the 4th home run for the Indians today. It's his 18th, and give him now. He's got, what, 53 RBIs on the year. Look out. He took over the team lead with that grand slam.
He just blew by Jose Ramirez.
Yes, he did. How quickly. Look at there he goes.
We got a timeout here in Cleveland. It's all rolling for the Tribe.
fans.
They have been treated to an offensive explosion.
That's a breaking ball that he hits the other way. He was looking to shoot that ball the other way. It gets over there and it gets out of here. It's his 11th career grand slam, man.
Wow.
It takes over the team lead in RBIs now. And Jose will not be happy about that.
Well, keep walking Jose Ramirez.
Right.
And Edwin's going to really pile up the numbers.
What it is all about. You know what? If you don't like it, you got to do something about it. And he's had a nice homestand over here. More opportunities for the big boys to drive them in. They should do that. And I'll tell you what, it's now 12-2 game. It's crazy.
17 hits for the Indians. He sends a high drive deep to center. Back is Martin, just shy of the wall. He reels it in for out number 2.
Now hitting for the drive, number 17, Yonder.
And up comes Yonder Alonso. Warwick Softball's 29th appearance of the year. And Yonder Alonso looks, sits outside ball 1. Josh Tomlin getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen. He'll come on to pitch the 9th. And Alonso takes it outside 2-0. There's a base hit in the left field. 18th hit of the day for Cleveland.
To the plate now for the Indians catcher,
Yan Gomes is the 9th man to bat in the inning, and it's the 2nd time today that the Indians have sent all 9 men to the plate. It also happened back in the 2nd inning. They scored 3 in that frame, but they ended up leaving the bases loaded. Here in the 8th, they had them loaded, and Edwin unloaded them with a grand slam. This has been one of the best teams, in fact, the very best in Major League Baseball with the bases loaded as a team average.
Oh gosh, they're on fire. And Andre, when you're down there, tell Lindor, see, we're going to let you walk home instead of having to try and score that run. He got in there anyway.
I think he knows. I think more of the story is Edwin's response. He said all the right things, but he's been letting him know. But keep walking the little guy and see what's going to happen. He was a little fired up on the way around the bases, to say the least. Still is.
Well, we found Edwin's button, and they pressed it, and he responded in a big way in this series. Gomes fouls it back. A ground ball in the hole, and it's in the left field. Another hit. Wow. Now Gomes has a pair on the afternoon. And we're going to get a pinch hitter now for Jason Kipnis as Eric Gonzalez will bat. The Indians have batted around here. Gonzalez batting for Kipnis, who started this inning with a home run himself. And a foul right back. Slow chopper towards short. Iglesias cuts it off, throws first, and the inning is over. But the Indians score 5 more in the 8th. A Jason Kipnis solo shot and a grand slam by Edwin. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Beautiful day, 12-2 Cleveland. A couple of Edwin fans watching from a lofty perch here at Progressive Field. Josh Tomlin on the pitch the 9th for Cleveland.
Number 43, Josh Tomlin. And leading off for Detroit at the top of that inning will be a pinch hitter for
Defensively, Eric Gonzalez now at second base. Victor Reyes getting an at bat here in the 9th inning for Victor Martinez. Now the 2-1. Lindor makes the catch, one away.
To the plate now for Detroit, second baseman Nico Goodrow.
Swung on and missed. And Nico Goodrum in the hole. 1-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 2 down. How fast things can change in the course of a week. Last weekend, the Indians were on the verge of being swept by the Minnesota Twins. They beat Minnesota and had a 2.5 game lead in the division. And now, on June the 24th, the Indians' lead in the Central is 8 games as they move to a season high 10 games over 500. They've won 7 in a row as they beat the Tigers by a final score today of 12-2. Adam Plutko moves to 4-1 on the year with the victory, and Matthew Boyd takes the loss. He falls to 4-6. And the Tigers will head back to the Motor City, having lost 5 in a row, and are now 36-42 on the year. 12-2 the final. We'll have some final thoughts right after this.